Island themes are an excellent way to inspire how you design your Animal Crossing island. Themes can offer structure, ideas, and even examples of what you could make. But, as helpful as island themes can be, the decision of which theme to focus on can feel really overwhelming, especially since you probably don't want to choose a theme that could cause you to feel burnout, a lack of motivation, or possibly even grow resentful of the game. So, how do you know which island theme to choose? Well, I'll show you. This is how I pick island themes. First, when it comes to picking a theme for your island, it's helpful to know what kinds of themes there are. We don't have time in this video to cover every theme, but I do want to touch on a few different ideas. Some that are more popular and relatively well-known, and others that are on the rarer side. The most well-known group of themes are the similar, yet still kind of different, Cottagecore, Forestcore, and Springcore. I grouped these three together because they're very similar in that they focus primarily on nature, they're often very woodsy, and usually they focus on softer colors like white, yellow, green, and brown. Citycore is a direct contrast in that it's not usually a theme that focuses on nature at all. It's a common theme for road designs and often uses forced perspectives to create the illusion of buildings, and just generally has a city feel. Spookycore is sort of an umbrella theme in my mind. It covers anything that could be remotely considered spooky. Think abandoned circuses, islands inspired by horror films, or Forestcore, but with fog and pumpkins. Wild West theme is another that's been slowly gaining traction within the community. These islands tend to have more of a desert feel and often use lots of rocks and termite mounds to create a mountainous landscape. Alright, so now that we're familiarized with a few different theme options, let's talk about how to settle on a theme for your island. Let me just say that you can do these steps in any order. You don't have to follow my exact thought process. My intention is to help you to start thinking about these different components of island design so that you can hone in on a few theme ideas that you'll hopefully be happy with. Regardless of anything else, remember to make what you're passionate about and what you love. That's really the key to committing to a design style and seeing it through to the end. It has to excite you. With all that out of the way, let's talk step 1. I first like to take into consideration the season that I want to play in. Most themes generally fit nicely into 1 or 2 seasons, so once you settle on one, it generally makes it easier to hone in on a specific theme or combination of themes that you might most enjoy. For example, I'm heavily debating on setting my next island to spring or fall. So some theme ideas that come to mind are an autumn-inspired Forestcore, a spring-inspired Kidcore, and an autumn-inspired Spookycore. Also, if you're not familiar with how to change the seasons in the game, I made a video all about that, and I'll link to it in the description. Absolutely check it out once we're done here. After I settle on a theme, I like to consider a color scheme for my island. I recommend sticking to around 3 colors, because often when players try to incorporate more than that, it becomes really difficult to keep the island cohesive and balanced. Obviously, please do what you feel is best for you, but that's just my approach to color. You'll most likely want to select colors that complement each other, but I also encourage you to think about how you want to feel when you play, because color theory is a thing, and it's real. I've linked to a video on color theory in the description if you want to learn more about that. Color plays a pretty significant role in how we relate to and feel about something. On my last island, I played around with yellow, black, and purple, and that color combination just felt way too lively and chaotic for me. I found myself getting super anxious whenever I'd play on that part of my island, and that's not usually how I want to feel when I play the game. Color ties into island themes because specific themes tend to work better with specific color schemes. Brown, green, and white work nicely with Forestcore and Cottagecore, whereas purple, orange, and black work well with Spookycore or Witchcore. Knowing what colors you want to focus on can connect you with specific island themes that might work better for you than others. Items are at the heart of every theme because you kind of need them in order to decorate your island, and most items have already been categorized into a set. So, pick a set you like, and that could very well be your theme. Or at least the set or sets that you like best could steer you in the direction of a theme. If your favorite set in the game is the spooky set, then consider doing something spooky. Witchcore, Pumpkincore, Abandoned Circus Core. You could even display your favorite pieces of different item sets on some open space on your island to see how they might all fit together. The mush lamps from the Mushroom set and the Crescent Moon chairs from the Celestial set are two of my most favorite items in the game. Together, they could work exceptionally well for Rainbow Core, Fairycore, or even a bright, fantasy-inspired Witchcore. Remember that you can just make stuff up as you go. Maybe you have a combination of items that you love, and you can think of some really fun ways to put them together, but you can't really think of a specific theme that might encapsulate your whole idea. Roll with it. Feel empowered to create your own unique theme if nothing else feels right, and just have fun with the journey. Now is usually when I would start to think about terraforming and how much of it I want to do. Some themes like Fairycore, Mountain Core, and Lake Core tend to require a lot of terraforming, which can be fun and exciting if it's something that you're in the right mood for and that you enjoy. Or it could steer you away from playing the game if it isn't something that you like to do. You can of course vary how much terraforming you do for any given theme, nothing is absolute, but in general, themes like Citycore, Kidcore, and Normal Core tend to require less terraforming, and the terraforming that is necessary is commonly easier and requires less time. If you aren't all that familiar with terraforming, I encourage you to play around with it. Set aside a small chunk of your island and maybe follow along with a few speed build videos. I'll link you to a few in the description. Or just try exploring the mechanic yourself to get a feel for how you like it. I'd say it's more likely that you'd find yourself doing more terraforming if you're going for a nature-inspired theme, and less terraforming if you're going for more of a city or resort-inspired theme. Play around with it, see how you like it, and let that guide your decision in terms of what theme you might choose for your island. Your villagers play a huge role in the appearance and experience of your island, and that can tie directly into your island's theme. I don't mean to imply that your villagers are just little props that you can use to help showcase your island. I mean to be explicit. That is literally what they are, or at least what they have the potential to be. The color scheme of your villagers, their personalities, even the exterior of their houses all help to tell the story of your island. So I think it's important to take some time to sit down and actually come up with a list of your dreamies. Is this extremely shallow? Absolutely. Is it going to make or break your island or its theme? Of course not. If we do this, does that mean that we're being a smidge obsessive about this children's game? I choose to not incriminate myself. Look, if you decide to do this, I want to offer a few tips that I think might make this process a bit simpler. First, don't worry about themes or appearances in the beginning. Just scroll through the list of villagers and select maybe 20 to 30 villagers that you like. Once you've got your list, now see if you can find any similarities or patterns within the villagers you've selected. Perhaps you selected a bunch of villagers who are food-themed. Maybe that means you make a food-themed island with lots of little shops and cafes. Oh look! You selected a bunch of brown-colored villagers of different species types that are very commonly found in the woods. Congratulations! You've discovered that you're likely drawn to cottagecore or forestcore inspired villagers. Maybe that means that that's the theme direction that you go in. Use the patterns you notice to guide you towards a few theme options. If you like a group of villagers who are all typical of a specific theme, then there's a pretty good chance that you might enjoy that theme as well. The last tip I have for you is trial and error. The only way you're really going to know what fits you best is through dabbling a bit in a bunch of different themes. You'll find that some come to you more easily than others, and that's awesome. Something I've done in the past is I set aside a few small areas on my island and just let myself explore what made sense to me by building different things using different items and color schemes. Exploration is a major part of what I love about this game, and island themes are one avenue of discovery that takes time, and you'll likely find that some design ideas bore you while others keep you up all night because of the thrill of feeling in flow with your creation. You may think that cottagecore is the right theme for you, but maybe you notice that when you're looking up codes online or when you're out villager hunting, that maybe what draws your attention aren't the codes and villagers that fit well with cottagecore, but instead animecore or witchcore. Give your island and yourself permission to evolve and grow as you begin to discover new inspiration and hatch new ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if these ideas were helpful for you, and if they were, let me know which theme you settled on. I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!